I, Patrick Aranduh, do swear that I will well and truly serve the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Commissioner General of Prisons.
Exactly 1 year ago, on July 24th, 2024, Mr. Patrick Aranduh took oath as the Commissioner General of the Kenya Prison Service, the highest office in one of the most vital security institutions in the country. Since then, he has steered bold reforms, championed rehabilitation, and even faced difficult questions about discipline, dignity, and direction. Today, he reflects with us on the journey so far, the road ahead, and the man behind the uniform.
Thank you so much also for having us. Yes, indeed, it's 1 year since the last time I took oath of office on 24th of July 2024. I'm grateful to God for this far and even for that appointment by His Excellency the President. I want to say that when I took office, obviously having been an insider, a Kenya prisons officer, there are things that you have always, as a person, as a senior officer, that you always hope if you got an opportunity to do, you would want to do them. And yes, my vision was always to see a transformed Kenya Prison Service in terms of one, staff morale. You really, and in this case, I really wanted to ensure that I do something that would greatly address the morale of staff. Key being one, their promotions, two, matters housing, three, salary, but some of all these things for us to be able to do, we also require other offices and facilitation to be able to do them. And yes, we have made some tremendous progress in that field.
Thank you, sir. Looking back, how can you describe the journey so far? That one, I mean, personally and even professionally. And even in the interest of my viewers, maybe they would like to know what is that one thing that really surprised you?
When you are not in this office, you are like in any other place.
Yes.
You don't realize how hot this seat is. This is a position where now you begin interacting with authorities and power that be, one. Two, you realize that now you are actually the one in command and everyone else is looking up to you in terms of the decisions that you make, in terms of the leadership that you provide to the organization, in terms of the reforms that you put in place, in terms of teamwork that you establish amongst the people that you are working with. And therefore, there is that aspect of providing leadership in terms of being a visionary person.
Yes.
People must be able to understand to what is your vision for the Kenya Prison Service, to understand where you want to see this organization in the next 5 or 10 years to come. And therefore, there is that aspect of being able to see, communicate, and interpret for everyone to understand where you want to see this organization. I'm lucky, for instance, when I came into the office, the Maraga task force had completed and submitted its recommendations.
Yes.
In terms of the reforms that need to be done in the Kenya Prison Service.
Yes.
And therefore, one of the things that we have done is to consistently implement those recommendations by the Maraga team.
Yes.
Or Maraga task force. And above all, even as we came in, for instance, the first thing that I did was to expand the establishment. Many people do not understand what this is to write to the Public Service Commission for them with the justification why you need an expanded establishment. When I say expanded is where, for instance, the rank of corporal, which is next after the constable, we were given an addition 2,000 constables. So that is how we expanded, and other ranks within the spectrum. And therefore, expanding that allowed promotions and uplifting and development of other officers within. And therefore, we have implemented this through promoting these officers to various ranks, and that has really increased the morale of the officers. And people and the officers, of course, remain very positive, knowing that there is now a chance for them to grow. When the establishment is shrinked in terms of ranks up there, then the hope for growth also diminishes.
Yes.
So yes, this 1 year I've learned to be more resilient, more committed, and more focused to drive this agenda with my team of leadership within this organization.
What is it that is the most fulfilling moment for you in this past 1 year? Something that makes you believe the reason as to why you took the role in this office? And on the flip side, maybe the most challenging moment you've undergone in your past 1 year?
Thank you. I would say that perhaps I will not say just one, but maybe two. One I've already talked about is expansion of the establishment.
Yes.
This is very key,
Yes.
and indeed, it's not only establishment, but the promotions already have been given out competitively. Number two is legislative and the legal and the policy review, because now our CAP 90 has been overtaken by events in terms of ensuring that the review is done so that it is in line with the Constitution of Kenya and other regulations. Therefore, there is a correction of bill. It's called a correction of bill. That is already in draft stage.
Yes.
And actually towards the tail end of completion of the same,
Yes.
so that it will be submitted to the Attorney General and going to other stages.
Yes.
This was very key to have an up-to-date regulations and act that govern Kenya Prison Service, and therefore that review is key for us and other stakeholders who have been involved in this task force, or rather this technical committee that was revising this bill. Perhaps I would also want to mention that housing is key for housing and accommodation for the officers.
Yes.
And we are glad to report that the government has agreed to construct 10,000 housing units for our officers. So this will commence this year 2025-2026 financial year.
Yes.
And that this will go a long way in addressing the challenges that we have always had for accommodation of officers. Sometimes where they live in areas where they are not very secure.
Yes.
And sometimes quite a distance from their working stations. And our facilities being what they are, we are containing inmates in those institutions. We need backup just in case of anything. Therefore, I want to say that that, among other things, are key to what we have really been able to achieve so far, in so far as transformation of the Kenya prisons agenda is being implemented.
And so you can say confidently that you're seeing a lot of impact so far on the reforms that you've spearheaded.
Yes, quite a lot indeed. And the thing here is that you cannot see it, for instance, when it comes to housing, the impact cannot be felt all of a sudden. It's a process.
Yes.
But you see what mattered is negotiating, being able to get the process to be put in place. For us now to say we are at a point where we can say yes, we can see these housing units being constructed. The other item is perhaps digitalization. We are glad that as a State Department for Correctional Service, we were considered under the World Bank.
Yes.
To have our systems benefit from digitalization.
Yes.
Much of the work that we do is basically paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to digitalize our records management, our data management, and all that. Advert has already been done. So that's another front I would say we're on the right track, and that will be a great transformation once this is done, so that we can be able to move with time and efficient in the way we record, manage, and even virtual courts and all that.
Yeah. We've seen a renewed energy in terms of rehabilitation in the Kenya Prison Service. And from farming, we have vocational trainings, we have issues like mental health programs. And I would want to know, what is your vision for the inmates in terms of the kind of vocational trainings, expanding the scope of what they do?
Thank you. One of the things that we had to put in place, and it's in progress, is development of prison enterprise policy to address some of the challenges that we have always had, because the regulations that have been governing the operations of both farms and industries are a little bit archaic, and the policy had not been put in place, considering rehabilitation as a key aspect in the Kenya prisons activity that we do. And therefore, with this policy, it's already in a draft form. It will address, one, modernization and mechanization of both industries and farms, so that we are able to construct modern workshops. We are able to equip those workshops with modern tools and equipment to enable even the inmates who are being trained to learn the new technology of making furnitures and other items, so that they'll be more competitive out there. Number two, farms the same. We expect to be able to modernize it in terms of buying tractors, machineries, and other equipment to ensure that we modernize our farming, make it more efficient, make it more effective in terms of the way we are able to cultivate, plant, and do other things quite fast.
Yes.
And also to be able also to market our products even on our social platforms.
Yes.
So that we are able now, if it is fruit or tree seedlings, we are able to ensure that we are out there, we are visible. And above all, to address the issue of earning scheme.
Yes.
For the inmates, because as it is right now, the earning scheme is too low, and we want to ensure that within this policy, we are able to cover for those who are skilled, for instance, inmates. The earning scheme will be something that will be able to assist them when they exit prisons. They will have like a seed capital.
Yes.
For them to be able now to start off
Yeah.
when they move to, they are
Back
out
to the
there.
society. Yeah.
Probably something else I need to mention is we are partnering with various stakeholders, and the key of them is the Dr. Manu Chandaria
Yes.
Foundation. He has built a number of workshops in female prisons, Langata Prison, Meru Prison. They have done Shimo Women. All these are operational, and now they will be groundbreaking in Eldoret Prison. And for the Kisumu Women Prison workshop, it's about 95% complete. These workshops provide, they have what you call bakeries, tailoring, and also a computer class. And therefore, the earnings that are realized from that enterprise, inmates get a certain percentage. And some of them have told us they are paying school fees for their children, they are supporting their families, and this is a new dimension which was not there previously in the field of rehabilitation. We are partnering with the higher institutions of learning. For instance, London University, we had a number of inmates graduating with a law degree.
Yes.
And other institutions locally, because really not every inmate will want to do carpentry and vocational training. So we are also trying to be a little bit more dynamic, coming up with other new programs, computer classes, etc., so that we can be able to accommodate more inmates in our rehabilitation programs.
From what you're saying is that there are a lot of things that are happening behind prison walls that maybe the public really don't know about. There's still a perception out there that prisons are places of punishment. What methods or which ways are you using to reframe this so that even those who are outside there can know that this is a place of reform, rehabilitation, and even reintegration? Because I've seen some stations doing serious reintegration work with their inmates who have completed their sentences. How are you reframing this?
To begin with, many times one of the challenges that we have as prisons is congestion. Secondly, because of congestion, the numbers are high, and the facilities that we have for rehabilitation are constrained. We have begun doing CSR, corporate social responsibility, out there, and we are becoming more visible, interacting even with the public, allowing public through open door policy to come and interact with us as prisons, to see the programs that we run inside, to partner with the stakeholders and other partners to run some of these programs that they introduce. We look at them and see whether they are commensurate to the doctrine of our rehabilitation programs. And therefore, as a result of that open door policy, the public we have demystified the prisons that used to be and the prisons that is today. And therefore, the public is now very well aware of who we are, what we stand for, what we are doing, the programs that we have in place, the observance of human rights, and even training inmates on human rights aspect, for them to know their rights when they're in custody, the do and the don'ts, and then above all, even capacity building for our officers through having programs that they are attending even with publics, so that they can easily now, and you realize some of them stay out there, they're able to interact with the public, but above all, even on our social media platforms, like our website and other platforms, we are now engaging public directly. And therefore, if there are any queries and issues that they want to know from us, we are able now to respond to them.
And they can easily reach out. Kenya Prison is a very key institution, and therefore the rehabilitation program or initiatives must have some impact on the broader Kenya's bottom-up economic transformative agenda.
Sure.
How does it really, how do Kenya prisons contribute to this broader aspect of bottom-up economic transformative agenda?
Thank you. In various ways, as you are aware, the vision of the government is to plant about 15 billion trees by the year 2032.
15 billion, yes.
The Kenya Prison Service has a target of annually planting 90 million trees annually. So what we are doing, other than planting, we are growing in terms of getting seedlings, and we are donating and even selling to the public in that area, because now greening Kenya is so key for us as a nation and even us as Kenya Prison Service. In terms of food security, you remember I talked about modernization and mechanization of our prisons, farms, and industries. This is where now you find, like in Geria, we have cultivated about 500 acres. This is not only to meet our domestic use, foodstuff that we grow, but also to be able to feed the country through selling of our produce to the surrounding communities. So when we produce more foodstuff and for us to use internally, then we save the government exchequer. The money that would have gone out now procures that foodstuff for internal use, and money now revolves and eases the government that burden of the exchequer through what we are producing. On the other hand, you look at industries, technology that is being introduced now, for instance, through production of the various materials and the various products within the prisons. For instance, we did seats for the National Assembly.
Yes.
We did, this year we have done seats for the Bomet County Assembly. So we are, when it comes to manufacturing, we are also building on the better agenda. And therefore, this is something that we are part and parcel of this government. And therefore, this service must also be seen actively to participate in the better agenda for the nation. We do have our strategic plan for the next 5 years, and yes, we intend to continue doing much more in various fields, even opening, for instance, Nyandarua prison. We have what we call seed potato program that we are running. We have a new seed potato that we are doing like a research on that will produce more potatoes and will be able to market and sell to the public to address the issue of food security.
Now let's cover a bit of staff and service. And we know very well that your officers are the backbone of the institution. And what initiative or what efforts are you making as the leadership of Kenya's prison service to ensure that the staff morale is boosted, and also we have issues of their welfare concerns are addressed, and we bring back the pride in uniform?
Thank you very much. Whereas there has been some challenges here and there, perhaps because of constrained resources that has not been very available. But then if you look at the way we are kitting our officers at the moment, we have gone a step further to ensure that we provide uniforms for all the members of staff. We may not be able to cover them at every issue,
Yes.
but the percentage of the uniforms that we are kitting our officers now has grown so much, and the government has increased our allocation for uniforms, which is a very good thing. Number two, about morale of the staff, I talked about promotion, so I don't want to go back there. Expansion of the service, I don't wish to go there, but also matters housing, which is something that we are working on. And then in the area of financial management, because sometimes there are challenges when it comes to management of finances, which can easily lead to pecuniary embarrassment.
Yeah.
And therefore, we are providing programs to ensure at every station we invite professionals in the area of financial management to train our officers on how to budget their salaries, to ensure they do not overcommit their salary and then end up being, frustrated and feel perhaps maybe that salary is not enough. Then on the other hand, we ensure that we have, for instance, our SACCO, Magereza SACCO, that gives various products that are affordable to its members, and the officers are able to access that product without being, going to other financial institutions that may have their interest very high.
Yes.
And, constrain them in terms of their salary. We are also providing, for instance, at the moment, we have in every station, there is a mental wellness committee to address the mental health and wellness of our officers through counseling, through engaging our officers to know whether they have any challenges that affect them mentally, and therefore they are able to be offered professional services and help to ensure that they remain focused to the duties that they are doing, and above all to ensure that no one feels that they have a challenge, they have a problem that cannot be addressed. Basically, even with the new law that we expect to come in, there are other things that will be addressed through the law, and also even as we continue to implement the Maraga Task Force recommendations. So if you look Here, for instance,
Yes.
this is a Kenya Prisons Insight. This is a newsletter that you have produced, and you have been able to indicate a number of things that you have been doing the last 1 year,
Okay.
and the ones that we hope to do
Yes.
in the coming year.
Okay.
Working together with the team at this level, the region, and even at the station level.
And as you begin now your second year in office, what should Kenyans expect? And maybe I give you an opportunity to write your own headline summarizing your leadership.
From the top to the bottom, that teamwork, proper leadership, and visionary. Two, since I came into the office, I realized that functions of a manager, you literally put them into use when it comes to planning, budgeting, controlling, staffing, all that. This is real, and you have to ensure these are happening. I don't want to, drum beat my drum, for instance. I just want to say that action speaks louder than words in most cases. For us being disciplined officers, you rarely see us in the media talking about ourselves.
Yes.
But I can tell you the areas that we have not even mentioned, transport, the government is doing something about it under the government motor vehicle lease program. Yes. So we expect transportation also to improve this year, even going forward. We're expecting that the collaboration between ourselves and other government institutions will continue to be more closer, because there are times we have national security challenges that we backstop. For instance, the police. We want to say that we'll ensure human rights are observed. We'll treat our inmates with humane and keep them in humane, safe custody. Yes. To ensure that they reform. We want a situation where the inmates that we check out, after the completion of their sentences, they are reformed, they are rehabilitated, they are skilled, and they are ready to go back to the society. So I want to say that we'll work together. We are ready with humility to serve our great nation, and with God, all things are possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner General, for your time.
Thank you.
Your insight and even your commitment to public service. And for us, we can only wish you the best in your second year, and we hope to see more of these that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was our special interview with Mr. Patrick Mwiti Aranduh, the Commissioner General of Kenya Prison Service. Thank you for watching. My name is Emmanuel Omolo.